Wow. Got a man in the kitchen. That's what you get. So, I've got to add 270 ml of water. Okay, here we go then. So, poor little thing. I'm going to have to make it a nice smoothie just to cool it down. It is warm. I'll probably try and find just ready ground ones. It's so warm. It's like just as well yeast wasn't needed in this because it would be starting to activate now already. Okay, so I'm putting 270 ml of water in this thing. Yeah, that'll do. Well, it won't do, apparently it has to be exact. But anyway, so that's that. I'm going to use a bit of Himalayan salt. Said use salt. Probably shouldn't use more than that, but anyway, that's what I'm going to do. And you have to stir this up. It's not very much though. Watch the lady's video. She's got it down pat. Apparently got to leave it for 10 minutes. I'm not sure if that's after you've made it into a dough or before. I'm going to leave it for 10 minutes like the lady said, and we'll see from there. Okay. Okay, so we're done with the nutribullet for the time being, certainly on this recipe. So let's just get this out of the way for the minute. And what I have been told I have to do, and I would probably make a slightly bigger recipe. I'll calculate it up. Well, depends if I have the ready ground stuff, because I'm not so sure if I should be grinding it in the nutribullet. It just seemed to be struggling with it, and it seemed to get hot. Another thing that was told was to using coconut oil. Yeah, for real. Get it on my hands. Oh, that's probably far too much. Put it on here. I haven't really prepared or anything for this. The things arrived and I've been like, let's go. Right, so it may have had a little bit too much water in there. I'm not really sure. Slightly. I mean, it's quite critical that you get these measurements right, I think. So it might slightly have had maybe 10 ml too much, something like that. Oh, she didn't say, I don't remember her saying how long in the oven. 210 degrees though. Yeah, I think this is just a little bit too moist. Maybe I could have waited a little longer. Anyway. Yeah. Oh well. I don't know what is going to come out of my oven. Some version of something I put in there. But there you go. Right, so wasting all this lovely mixture. I didn't really wait 10 minutes either for it to dry out. I waited 5. I thought it would take me longer to make some space for it, but anyway. Should have said Pyrex. Well, I think I had one. I don't know what I have now. Is this? So that would do. My oven's trying to get itself up to 210. And that bleep says that it is now at 210. What she said was, so that it cooks all the way through. And I think mine is going to crack and separate and make holes in the middle because of the way that I haven't quite done it right. But anyway, she said rather than make a loaf of bread, make rolls or something. So that's what I'm doing. Now that I'm coming to the end of it, I mean, we'll see what it comes out like, but I sort of can't quite believe that I've actually done this. And I can tell you that doing it and recording it, it's kind of feels like the first time I've sort of recorded a step-by-step thing like this. And doing it with a device that's just arrived. So it's the first time I've made this bread, never ground this stuff before. Never used, well, I've used a nutribullet, but I haven't used this one with its app and measuring and all the rest of it, and this recipe, and whilst recording. For me personally, it's felt like a bit of a challenge. There's been a lot of confusion along the line, but I am now going to put these in the oven and see how I get on. In the middle, 210. I don't know how long she said for. I'm gonna put it on for 20 minutes. That's probably going to be too much. I'm going to have another listen to exactly what she said. Oh, there you go. There they are in the oven. The other thing is, of course, front-facing camera so that I can see that anything that needs to be in the shot goes in the shot. But anyway, you get the idea. Yeah, interesting. It's a worthwhile experiment on many levels. I feel like I've done a day's work. But let's pause it for now and see how it gets on. I'm going to check the cooking times. Right, so it's actually 40 minutes. So I'm going to have to add some time to this. Been in there for a minute. Right, and there's the lady's video. I'll put a link in the description. Need to work out whether or not I can get ground linseeds rather than grinding them in there, because I'm not sure if it's doing the thing any good. Anyway, what else was I going to say? Yeah, I need to master this bread and various other things. Yeah, making YouTube videos, because I do want to do some of those, and I do want them to be useful, and I do want people to watch them. So I'll do a quick little clip when these are done, And I will also do something else. What will I do? I will show you me eating them with some marmalade. And there'll be a reveal of what those things taste like. And I'll probably adjust the recipe to my own liking. I'm certainly going to make larger batches of it in future. Okay. Oh, here we go then. They seem to be like bricks. We'll see. I'll let them cool and we'll see. Okay, did I say I'd let them cool? I didn't really mean that. What I meant was I wouldn't let them cool. I'm too impatient. Going to have one right now. It would be lovely with some butter on. But I'm not supposed to be eating that either right now. You see why I'm going to all the trouble of doing this sort of stuff, I suppose, can't you? But also not supposed to be having... If they're cold, they'll probably cook a bit more on the inside. Not supposed to be having marmalade, but... Tastes pretty plain, so that's fine. I can zhuzh it up. Can bring my own thing, one way or the other. I think it's probably just about right in terms of the size of the lumps and the length of time. It does need to cook a little bit more, so maybe I would drop it down to 200 degrees so that it didn't cook so hard on the outside but cooked a little bit more all the way through. I mean, that might just be oven by oven. My thumb is very paranoid right now because I did burn myself getting them out of the oven. I used the tea towel, and normally I fold it over a few times, but obviously where my thumb was, it was on just a single piece of tea towel. So by the time I realised it was burning, I was halfway between putting them back and taking them out, or I could have just dropped them on the floor. I guess I wasn't going to do that, was I? They seem to be minusing the taste. I've never had this marmalade before, actually. They seem to be minusing the taste of even the marmalade. In other words, the flavour of the marmalade is absorbed by these rather than brought out by them. So I'm putting some peanut butter on there now. Tastes like glue you used to make at school. Another flour and water. It just tastes, you know, like a nice roll. It seems to, the sparkle you get with a little bit of butter and some marmalade on the homemade roll normally, you know, like angels dancing on your tongue. The old saying used to go. But this is a little bit plain, so it tends to be, it feels like it's taking the flavour away into its, you know, I wouldn't say it tastes like cardboard, but it's not very entertaining. It's kind of not fair probably to say this, but it's kind of like the Steve Davis of breads. So I think what I'll do next time is a little bit more salt. Perhaps drop the temperature down 5 or 10 degrees. Give it 45 minutes instead of 40 maybe, something like that. In my oven, you know, different. It's a fan oven, so it's quite stable, but anyway. And I think when I've got the unfettered mix right, I think that's when I'll add some other seeds on the top, or I mean, she did say in the recipe that her daughter liked adding fennel or cumin, or there was one other thing, can't remember. Anyway, links in the description. But it doesn't taste bad. It's probably going to taste a little bit better when I let them cool and cook a little bit more. I've actually opened the oven door to get some of the heat, to get the heat out of the oven into the kitchen. Energy being what it is right now. But as it happens, it's really not bad. And for a first attempt, with a nutribullet as well, whilst making a video of it for YouTube, it's not too bad. I was going to say, oh yeah, the one thing that's good is that because I'm not eating pasta or rice or bread, that's been missing from my diet, a roll or a bread or something. And we'll see what happens. I probably used to, I mean, I do love nice breads. I probably used to use them too much as a bulking agent, you know. Finished eating, right, let's just pad the stomach out with a lump of dough. So we'll see if I go back down that route again, and if I do, I'll pull the brakes on. But it is nice to have something like that, you know, with an English breakfast or with a salad, you know, a nice varied salad with olives and things. Maybe I'll even put olives in there. That might be a possibility. And if I can, my preference would possibly be to try and get it to cook all the way through on a larger loaf, which is something that the lady, I think her name's Sarah or something, she had trouble with that, and that's why she cut them up into those rolls. I keep pointing at them because they're over here and I want to eat some more of them. So I'm going over that way. I'm going to be careful with my thumb. And I'm going to go and bring another one. It is a bit doughy. think what I'm going to do actually, rather than letting them cool, I'm putting them back in just with the warmth that's left, which is not very much of it, in the oven. Because it would be nice to just have them cook through. It's not wet. It's just it's a little bit doughy. It's not perfect. You know, I'd like light and fluffy and dry. It sort of almost feels like it is moist, but it's not really. But I would like it a little bit, cook a little bit more through, and it's a little bit crispy on the outside, but they're not the bricks I thought they were. Looks like a lump of steak, doesn't it? I don't know if I can... Don't know how that's looking. But it's actually quite nice. Yeah, just a bit plain. I suppose it's the water. It just tastes, of water. In actual fact, I can, weirdly enough, I can taste the plainness of the water that I put in there. Funny. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a success. It's worked. It's a little bit of tweaking to get it just a little bit drier inside, and then personal taste. A little bit of create on, you know, whatever you want to put in there, sunflower seeds, whatever, anything. But I think it would be nice to have probably some savoury, maybe even mixed herbs or something. I don't know. Turmeric might be a thing because it's quite useful for other reasons. And that's the fan switching off in the oven. So that's it. I would say that it is a success. Oh, they've gone back in the oven now. Here I am trying to show you. I would say it was a success. The bread's almost a success. Well, potential success or something. Needs more peanut butter. Couldn't really be eating that either. Anyway, no big deal. That's the linseed bread. Links in the description. Well, if you're tough as old boots, as my mum would say, like and subscribe. Somewhere along the line it may be a little bit more compelling to do that, but I'm getting there. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.